All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon and end of the month, might I say, January 31st. Great to see Chuck, Andrea, all of our students joining us live inside our live trading room and all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works at Cyber Trading You. Might I type that out as well? Is always the name. We're in a bit of a rush, at least, of course, here this afternoon. Never like to be in a rush, but we have class coming up this afternoon, finishing up the Phase 3 class, that is. So the advanced trading class, just with the market closed, just really just trading the watch list that we'll be pumping out to you in just a little bit. But hey, normally Fausto conducts that class himself, 35 plus year pro within the markets. But I typically get the hot tag once, a month, one out of every 4 classes. So looking forward to that right there for all of our gold, platinum, and diamond students with us here. So with that in mind, hey, I just told one of our students, Brian, a moment ago, I got stopped out, just break even on a trade here. And maybe I'll jump back in on it during class, but it's just got a really thin order book. The DWAC trade, I was hoping to see, at least coming off the Fed meeting here, a bit of a bounce or pop back up nonetheless. Maybe we'll get it later on, but I had a good entry on this trade at first, but just like we always teach, when a stock breaks through a big level and you jump in, you should be getting a pretty good reaction shortly after. Started to get a decent reaction at first, but then the foot was taken off the gas pedal, more or less, right? So completely break-even trade. Tiny shares too. This thing is like just not only expensive, but the order book is very thin. So I'm not as much of a fan of that, really. It was kind of a one-off trade, perhaps. Maybe I'll come back to it later on. It's up like 6% still, I reckon. But, well, let's just go right from top to bottom here, see what we could add to our watch list, at least for now, and we'll just jump around otherwise after. Oh, keep in mind also with the Fed meeting, obviously, that concluded at 2 p.m. I got a little stiff competition here right now this afternoon, just with Jerome Powell, obviously Fed chair, just giving some remarks live right now as we're going. So if you see the SPY chart here on the 5 minute here, 5 minute chart where my cursor is, just watch that over time. That's just a good representation of what's happening within the market right now. Ooh, I'll tell you what, these like low float or stocks that are, up big, making moves on their own accord, well, they're not as likely to react to a sinking market either way. Like MNTS, even after 2 p.m., just held strong, broke a new high just a moment ago. I love this move. Hey, hopefully this doesn't move up too much without us here before class starts. Add that to our watch list to begin. Wow, the MINM trade. Forgot about this at first. It's been a long day. I mean, this ended up making such an extraordinary pop here after the open. Really took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to see this move up as quickly as it did, up towards 550. But just like we always say, I mentioned this to one of our students a moment ago on a call. Big trees fall hard, right? This ended up coming right back down. In fact, we jokingly say, semi-jokingly say, twice as fast as they go up, right? So with that said, ended up pulling back down. But hey, really quick, just want to go over this with the Fed. I didn't mention this from before, getting a little push back up a little bit here, but it's tough to short this market. I was mentioning that even from the last few weeks. Just we're breaking all-time highs now at this point, but unless if there's a clear indication on the chart to try and short, then I'm not going to be as likely to. So today we had a little bit of a drop off here. That wasn't my MO. I mean, my MO is to be more hands off altogether until 2 p.m. But now will be more of a talking point heading into this afternoon, heading into tomorrow morning. Hey, what's the stronger reaction going to be? This right here is the immediate reaction. Question is, what's the stronger reaction? It's going to take a little time to realize that, right? So, one thought that I had to one of our traders earlier was, listen, most of us were expecting the rates to be unchanged, right? I think pretty much nearly all of us were kind of thinking that. But I had a slight feel like maybe there were some folk out there that, just because the market was at all time highs, euphoric feel like, oh, we're just perfect economy, they're going to lower the rates. And maybe those people would be disappointed. So I thought that maybe we would have an instant drop off just based off that alone. But right now, Powell's talking. So who knows what he's saying right now? I'm going from top to bottom here. So AHT. I'm going to pass on this right now. We're just going to expedite this meeting here. Want to make sure all of our students and, well, myself have enough time to prep up, get ready for class. But with that said, plug, not a bad trade. Beautiful push from earlier this morning. This is still a very slow moving stock. You have to realize that. So I'm going to put this on our watch list. I'm going to add it, but I'm not expecting a move up to $5. In the event where it makes that move, that would be an utter home run. I would love to see it, but just for right now, you can't expect it. I'm going to add this to our list. It's tradable. Maybe this can make like another 10, 15 cent push. That could be worth our time a bit there. Rumble RUM. I forgot about this one actually. A little bit with DWAC to a degree, up even a little bit more, pushing up towards the high that we had from last week too. So right now, definitely even more than ever, Rumble we're gonna add to our list. This is a lot more tradable than that DWAC stock, if anything. They're not moving exactly the same, but they're kind of grouped together online in a sense. All right, we had Para from earlier today. My chart is all marked out on that. I was hoping to see a higher low and a pop up higher, didn't get it, and I was more hands off after. I didn't short it, but I was looking for a bounce from 1480-ish, 1485 earlier. Had it at first, but then obviously lower high, lower low, you know the deal. So now at this point, we're not really as keen to trade this Paris stock. Maybe tomorrow, check back in with it. You don't want to fall in love with any trade. You can say that on my Mara stock. I will tell you, I'm one of two trades I'm in right now. Mara, actually, we'll cover this at least coming up in class in just a moment. But Mara, actually, today, nice little move up from the morning session, making a bit of a bounce now. More tradable than that Paris stock, actually, for the time being. But, for right now, let's just see what else we got. Got a lot of cheap stuff here too. Got to really weed through that. That's garbage. 17-cent, 20-cent tickers like that, 39-cent stock. We're not really doing that. Don't get me wrong. We traded Mark yesterday, MARK, but look what happened to that trade just overnight, right? So that was more of an anomaly where that just ran incredibly well for us yesterday, but that's more of a rarity that we're trading a stock that's like 40, 50, 60 cents. That's never really going to happen like that. But let's just go right from top to bottom now on the loser side here. Got some chat from Kerry, Sam, and Larry right there. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. NVVE down enough for me to look for a dead cat bounce, but not really making that move. So pass there. This was a great short in hindsight and pre-market, it looks like there, but I forgot what the order book appeared like there. It could have been too thin, but great short just in terms of the chart on NYCB. AMSC, this is one from a few days back we did really well on, but looks like they ended up reporting, I think it was earnings overnight, big gap down, and then from there, maybe this could be a gap fill on the way back up over time, like this week, next week. Don't hold your breath for it, but just maybe keep it on your side list. Otherwise, just poke at it every now and then just to check in, see where it's at. And Google, very choppy, coming off earnings. AMD, wow, this is still holding strong near the highs, actually. So, you know what? Where it's not up or down a lot percentage wise, it was on our list earlier, wasn't it? And it was coming off earnings last night. So, I'm going to actually put this AMD trade back on our list for right now. Just, I wasn't expecting this for all of our students in our trading room, longtime students of CTU. I hope you know this. Like, I am a huge AMD fan. That doesn't mean I'm going to trade it every day. Doesn't mean I'm swinging it every day. But otherwise, that even on top, like they had lowered guidance heading into whether it's next quarter, the remaining parts of this year. That's like the larger talking point with earnings. So that skeeved me out from trying to take this trade today. So be it. It's okay. I'll trade it tomorrow. But even this afternoon, perhaps this can make, the break over 170. And well, right now, it just popped through a big iceberg order. And more or less, we'll see if that could flip into support. So I don't mind adding AMD to our list here at this stage. Just more expensive, but you could trade the calls on it. You can maybe trade SOXL. Ooh, nice pop back up right now. Looks like the whole market's making that U-turn here. Whatever sweet whispers Jerome Powell is saying right now into the market's ear, I'm a fan. So, yes, big pop right now all across the board, but we're not going to trade everything, though. This is where we don't want to get too jumpy. We don't want to start trading everything under the sun. Mara, I'm obviously a fan of here, and perhaps given the volatility of Mara, I could add that to our list. Maybe because of the volatility of Tesla here, I could add this to our watch list too, right? The only issue with Tesla, though, isn't this coming off like more bad news with Elon? I thought there was something where a whole bunch of crap came out last 24 hours, right? Something with Elon, state of Delaware, his company being incorporated, something like that. Whole case going on, right? I'm not as in tune with it, but I'll add Tesla to our list just because of the overall volatility. That might be something that could weigh it down, though. Whatever headline came out over the last 24 hours, but you know what? I'll add that there too. So let's see what else we can get, though. Again, we're going to jump around really across our side list to wrap up. It's only 2:40 here in the afternoon, so we got about like 25 minutes until class anyway. I'm looking forward to it for all of our gold, platinum, diamond students. I'm going to be trading with you all heading into the close. For anyone here, you'll have Rich on the mic at least. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else that's looking too more name brand or anything looking great here from the loser side. Just kind of doing a quick scan through here. All right. From Linda saying Jerome Powell said they're not changing anything until inflation is 2% and demonstrates that it will hold. There's obviously a lot more to it than that, I'm sure. Like we'll kind of sum it up just once we're in class later on here at 3 o'clock. But more or less, you don't need to look at the headlines, right? And this is just to anyone. We taught this in our news class in phase one. The more that you're reading headlines, the more that you're missing the price action. So of course, you want to know what he's saying. But in terms of right now, the immediate future, look at this pop. This is pretty crazy, right? So nice little push right now here. Really quick, I had some chat from just before. I'm going from bottom to top here. My apologies. Kerry asking on AMD, where do you see resistance? That was at 170 just before. Now after that, 171 maybe. Like really, it's $5 levels for that one. What about TSVT from Sam? Looks good to me. Simple enough. Simple enough. That is a pretty good one. I like this a lot, really. I don't know how I missed this. Maybe it was running up as I was going from top to bottom. That could be it. But I appreciate it. Good shout from Sam. Sam's had a few good call-outs this week, I got to say. All right. So, hey, let me know if there's anything else, folks. Last call here before we finish up. We got a good list. Don't need to add too much more, right? But with the Fed, operating here, or the market moving off the Fed meeting, got a couple scans here to look at, like Carvana. Chuck, I'm surprised you haven't called out Carvana yet. This thing's taken off pretty sharply. Redfin, RDFN, not a bad chart there, actually. But again, there's probably a lot that looks like this, so you don't want to add every stock under the sun. Let me just keep sifting through here right now, seeing what else we can grab. Compass, COMP. Again, not bad. Looks good. Just I want to see if there's anything even more eye-catching than that. Open, pretty similar. I wouldn't mind adding Carvana. That's a little more volatile of a stock, so more level 4 to 5 trade, but again, kind of similar line of thinking with Mara and Tesla and AMD. This is a pretty damn volatile stock. So if if you do well on the stock day to day, or more days than not throughout the week or given month, you know who you are, right? Had run pop earlier. Actually, I forgot about that until just now. RUN, right? This is up like 9-10%, so it's hard to ignore this. I'm going to add Sun Run here to our watch list now. My friend Matt will be pretty happy. He works for Sunrun. DraftKings ripped over 40, says Brian. Hey, that was a great swing trade that we were focused on over the last couple weeks. Great shout from him. It's not up a lot percentage-wise, but really strong chart looking at the last week or two, right? Well, last month, nonetheless. I could add this, right? Again, there's just a lot that is moving. Upstart, SoFi this actually fell off way too much back from yesterday and the day before, so hard pass on SoFi. The other loan companies, I'll just kind of keep them on the side list there. Not really too special. All right, so then we're kind of rounding it up here, folks. I don't want to build out too big of a list, like I've been saying. So pretty much in total now, we got 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 10 now at this point. I think that we're going to call it. I like what we got. Mara's doing well. We got Sun Run. We got Rumble. We got a few different trades here within our price range that are moving pretty well. And I got to focus in on my 2 trades at least here. Two trades or one trade. I forgot if I'm in the other trade I'm in here. I was going to try and show that more for class coming up this afternoon. Oh, got stopped out on the other. All right, cool. So Mara will focus on in class altogether for our gold, platinum, and diamond students of CTU. If you're a trial member, just kind of testing our room out for the week, don't worry as much about that just yet. If you want to learn more about our education, just speak to your education advisor. They're basically the middleman or middlewoman between you and Fausto or you and myself. But I'll be in class coming up this afternoon. I know a lot of new trial members here have appointments coming up with Fausto throughout the remainder of this week, tomorrow and Friday. So hopefully we catch a couple more good runs to work with, just showing you this is not just, once in 1,000 chance or, once in a million chance. We do this every freaking day. It's a matter of protecting yourself, most importantly, in order to gain the confidence to say, hey, I could do this every day of the week, not just once or twice. All right, folks. So, hey, best of luck trading going into the market close for all members here. And again, for all of my students, look forward to talking to you in just a little bit. Take care.